It's jarring. Exactly. Well, Lee, that's the thing. Lee was bare positive. If Lee feels that way, then at least I can, like, for me, I could say, for me, anyways, I think Egal genuinely thinks the way he does. I think Lee thinks the way he does. I think Tom thinks the way he does. I think Harry thinks the way he does. Um, yeah, there's plenty of other names, but we're here doing bare things. But unfortunately, one thing I've learned with content is just being honest, don't sell, innit? Like, it is where it is. But let's crack on, guys and girls. What's this? Let's start with this one. What is this? Belief player will be at preseason on Monday if Arsenal have an agreed fee by then. Now, with it being Thursday, wait, what? Monday? It's Thursday now. Are they talking about next Monday? I don't know. But we've all heard now Gyokeres has one goal in mind, and that's to join Arsenal. And whether you want Gyokeres or not, and again, rumors are rumors. The amount of rumors that he's doing to get to Arsenal, even leaving his wife, I'm not gonna lie, that kind of mentality I want in my striker. Because if you're willing to leave your wife to go and play for Arsenal Football Club, what are you doing to score goals? Because I must admit, I'm not saying he's like this, but we need a nasty striker, man. Like, remember Diego Costa bite people's ears and do mad stuff. I wouldn't mind having someone with a bit of dog in them, man. So yeah. A Bowler states Arsenal could try and agree a fee for the 27-year-old before then to save him having to show his face in Lisbon. But if they don't, he'll start pre-season at Sporting. We have heard rumours of him not wanting to go over there. Gyokeres reportedly threatened not to return for training if the Sporting president Varandas refused to lower his 80 million euros demand. Abola states the Lisbon club are now certain the Sweden international will join the group if an agreement isn't reached for his transfer. Arsenal have indicated their willingness to offer 55 million euros plus 10 million euros and raise the fixed part to 60 million euros. This hasn't been entertained by the Portuguese champions, who are requesting 80 million euros. So we actually haven't learned anything there. We're not going to go over it, but, you know, just from browsing, it seems like Sporting Lisbon are being linked with a lot of strikers and trying to tie up some moves in that regard. But that ain't anything else, man. I mean, I must admit, I'm getting quite tired of hearing about Gyokeres. The only thing that would incite me is if a bid's been made, accepted, or rejected at this point. The same goes for Sesko. Gyokeres and his agent, Hassan Sentikaya, insist that Sporting have promised to release him for 60 million euros plus 10 million euros. Varandas has already denied that and said the club has only agreed to sell him for less than his 100 million euros. So it's getting messy. So for me, as I said, I think it's purely Sporting's agent. Sorry, Gyokeres' agent against Sporting. I think these two are the reason Gyokeres ain't getting his move. And I guess indirectly that affects Arsenal, who have been linked with him, United, who have been linked with him, Liverpool were linked with him, Chelsea were linked with him, a couple Italian clubs, Napoli and Juventus. So we'll have to see. We ain't learned anything there. In relation to Mosquera, apparently the Valencia defenders rejected the club, Valencia, contract renewal offer and told them to listen to Arsenal's proposals for him. Our knock is different, isn't it? When we knock, you know how wavy this could be nonsense, but that's kind of wavy. Go and listen to Arsenal's offer. Boy, he's going to be good for us. But we need defensive cover. They explained Valencia officially offered the centre back a new deal yesterday, but the defender has rejected this. He wants to play for Arsenal, according to report. The offer Valencia made was to extend until 2028, which would be a 3-year deal and include a progressive wage increase. But his desire is to play in the Premier League. He already has the terms of a contract agreed with Arsenal. Valencia have been made aware of this desire and now need to work out a deal with Arsenal. Mosquera has asked Valencia to reach an agreement. Arsenal initially offered 14 million euros for the player, who is out of contract next summer. The Spanish side have stated it would be near impossible for them to allow Mosquera to leave for less than 20 million euros. Whatever Arsenal or someone's going to pay you, his contract is running up in it. So you can do the Braveheart thing. You probably have to let him go. Leipzig were linked with him. Maybe if you agreed this Sesko thing, you'd have money to go and get him because they're probably going to sell. Lecaber's been linked with a move away. That would have made sense. I'm happy with Mosquera's signing. Not going to sit and act like I know Donny, but from what I've seen and research, you are going to drop clangers. There's going to be games where you look way more mature than a 21-year-old, and there's going to be times you don't. Think when Gabriel was learning his tricks and trades of the game. But you can play left-sided centre-back, right-sided centre-back, where I think's your bread and butter, and also right-back. We all know our defensive unit is probably where we're most comfortable in terms of the numbers and actually the ability. But then when you really break it down, there's cause for concern. Timber had to play a lot post-ACL. Ben White had to play through the wars. You have to, consider maybe Miles Lewis-Skelly could get injured and he's young and learning and things like that. Calafiori's been in the treatment room more than on the pitch. Tomiyasu only played 6 minutes. I think Kivior stays, but he could ask to leave. Zinni's probably gone. And I'm probably missing someone. Tierney's gone. we're in issues there. So we need to restock that. And actually, where Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba, they've not been afforded opportunities to be rested, if not necessarily for games, but a 20 minutes here, 30 here, 45-minute here, it all adds up. So I'm cool for this. Obviously, he's young, development, resale value, all that kind of jazz. There might be an element of future proofing if he develops and Saliba goes Real Madrid one day and Gabriel Magalhaes is only 27, but you never know, people. So it is what it is. They've rejected the first offer, which typically happens in negotiations, does it not, people? He had initially indicated he would like to stay and develop with Valencia, but their delay in offering him a new contract has given Arsenal the advantage. You snooze, you lose then, innit? They've taken hold of his head and heart with their efforts and offered him better financial terms than those in charge at the Messiah. And Valencia is a difficult club to play for as well, so it'll be bullish. And obviously, you're not going to get, at this moment in time, Timber's a better option at right back. Timber's a better option at right back. Ben White's a better option. You're not getting ahead of Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba. I would play you ahead of Kivior, but in terms of what we've seen from Kivior and what we haven't seen from you, because you ain't played for our club, you're going to be behind. I only mention that because he played 37, I believe, of 38 La Liga games last season. I'm sure, obviously, playing regular football for Valencia or someone else could boost your chances of getting in the Spain squad for next season. Equally, moving to Arsenal could, but you're going to have to play games to do that. So I want him to come here. I want to take someone's place. When, as much as I like the kumbaya thing and we're all friends at the club and things, we're not here to make friends. We're here to win stuff. So yeah, it is what it is, man. No club should announce their deals today for sure. I agree and disagree. I agree because obviously that's all that matters. But unfortunately, the world has to keep spinning, man. But yeah, it'll be put in poor taste. Like, you can announce these things later, innit? If we had 20 to 30 goal contributions, then Sesko would have been 85 million. DG, how do you function with that many tabs open? My head is spinning. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. How are we going to get over it? How are we going to talk about these things? You always do this. How are we going to talk about these things? How? I always say, tab police, look away. Gyokeres leaving his missus the same way DG would. I'm loyal to the soil, man. I'm loyal to the soil, man. I'm loyal to the soil. Just stop it, yeah? Stop it. 29, that's all I hear. Man's got a name. Our transfer window so far is fringe players for the squad, and I'm happy now we move. I hear that, but I want to see us grab some serious players, man. I want to see us grab some players. DG, we're going to play one touch today. No extra touches. This guy's a muppet, but my guy, man. Shout out my mod. Some of you are mad, but cool. So that's that. Apparently, according to Team News and Ticks, now, for me, I'm not going to lie. When it comes to the ITKs, I'm only trusting Han of Arsenal. I think he's verified his thing, in it, if I'm honest with you. Team News and Ticks did have a run. Really, we should just be waiting until people are announced on Arsenal.com or Romano and David Ornstein. But apparently Arsenal are really struggling to agree a deal with RB Leipzig over Sesko. And while the club are still trying to complete a deal, there's currently no headway being made. What do we make of that? Arsenal will not pay more than, you're cop blocking this now, will not pay more than 70 million euros for Sesko. Arsenal are waiting to see if Leipzig change their stance. As Sesko is Mikel Arteta's preferred target, he feels Sesko completes the team. So a game of chicken, but at some point we're going to have to say, you know what, fuck this Sesko, Gyokeres or whoever. Pardon me, we're led to believe, at least yesterday, that Sesko is finally going to move to Arsenal. Romano's apparently said there have not been any changes over a deal for Gyokeres tonight. Sporting's asking price needs to be clarified before a deal can be closed. Arsenal are advanced in talks with Sporting regarding Gyokeres, and the club feel they're within touching distance of the finish line. Gyokeres has already agreed a 5-year contract. Sources close to the Arsenal deal for Benjamin Sesko have informed court offside that the parties involved may be nearing a compromise on a fee in the region of 75 million euros. So depending on where we read, it's just whispers. And every journalist, this might be facts, but every journalist is adding their own little spin. It's all about engagement, isn't it? Team News and Ticks also said on Sesko, people, the original thought was that Leipzig wanted 83 million. I think the structure is as complicated as the fee, because I think the 83 million euros was all up front, essentially like a release clause. And if you wanted to break it down, Leipzig wanted more money. Arsenal always thought Leipzig would budge. Arsenal obviously don't want to go to that amount, and it's been stuck. It seems as it's a bit of an impasse. Leipzig's point of view is Arsenal haven't put their best foot forward. I think Arsenal's point of view is there's no point with the numbers they're speaking. They're not putting any foot forward. From him being our preferred target, I would say it probably now looks unlikely. It's not completely off or dead, but it probably won't happen. So then just get the Gyokeres thing, innit? I like Sesko. I like Gyokeres. I'm not on this play thing. Cool. get my striker in it. Cool. If this is that, Gyokeres, come and join us. Get Eze in, Zubamendi. When the time's to announce that. Keep it moving. Try as much as you can for Rodrigo. If not, fuck off with Rodrigo then, because better show me you can pivot. You ain't show me nothing because I'm just a fan in it. But go all out for Rodrigo. But make sure you've got someone that is a left wing target, because we want Eze regardless. So go and get me a left winger. Go and get me a striker. Just go and do all of these things. I don't want to see what we've seen in previous years. We're chasing one man, we don't get it, and it is what it is. But I hopes to finalise the signing of Gyokeres. The player wants to join Arsenal and is now close to agreeing personal terms with the club. But apparently, some reports have said we've agreed personal terms, and it's just a fee now. So again, they're just bare remixing going on with the club. Sporting have so far been uncompromising, but Berta hopes to settle on a fee slightly lower than 70 million euros. So yeah, Sporting are cop blocking the operation. If Arsenal's first choice genuinely is Sesko, Manchester United, Manchester City, Real Madrid are apparently all tracking Sesko's situation in case Arsenal fail to get a deal done. As it stands, Leipzig's demands are too high. Real Madrid probably looking at him as a long-term target. If you go to whatever club and you really develop and be this bad boy striker, cool. I think they do want a striker, but they're more looking for a Hosselu kind of one, squad filler. And that Garcia youth's done very well at the Club World Cup. Manchester City, I'm not sure. To have him and Haaland, football manager lovers would love that. And the chance to work with Pep. And I mean, if you've got Haaland, Sesko, Marmoush, all them other attackers there, it's lit. Man United, I think, would want him today, because Man United, Chelsea and Arsenal for the last 2 years have been looking at him. And this just could all be nonsense, people. I don't know. Today, I was told that Arsenal spoke to Ollie Watkins again and said hold fire on any deal. He would be third choice. But with the first two looking difficult, it's not a third choice. That's miles away. Watkins is an Arsenal fan and would love to play for them. What do you lot make of that? I think it would be a bit of a downer, because Gyokeres' numbers are hard to ignore, and him and Sesko, and you could, not for the numbers, but Sesko's our first choice target. Gyokeres is someone we'd all love, and we've been linked with them. I think people would look at Watkins as an underkill, but I think he might cost a lot less. He is Premier League proven. It might not be the most glamorous name. I wouldn't sit there and think, but I wouldn't think he's a bad player. In an ideal world, I would love to get either Sesko and Gyokeres and not only Watkins. He can play out wide. I wouldn't say it's inspiring, though. I would have to say, for fans to really get gassed, you have to bring Eze regardless. I think Eze, Watkins, people are like, all right, cool, that can mix and blend with Saka. But I think to kind of please us and shiny new toy, you'd have to give us Rodrigo. But if you rock up with Watkins, Madueke, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next season, but I do know Arteta, regardless, you have to find a way to make sure there's a parade. Can we get to 300 likes, people? We're flirting with it. There's over 700 of you in here. We've got 289 likes. If you hit the like button, big up yourselves. Musk can do that. Watkins was good last season. He's not name brand. It's not a sexy signing. It's not a long-term addition, and he would be our third choice. So fans can pour on that, but boy, Tottenham did want Nordgaard. Thomas Frank absolutely loves him. He can't stop singing his praises. Nordgaard only wanted Arsenal. He wasn't going to listen to anything else. I mean, that's a good way to, endear yourself. With Eze, that is a deal Arsenal could get wrapped up in the next hour if they wanted to. Eze is desperate for it. There are rumours, I don't know where from, that Palace are willing to deal under the release clause. Apparently, he's on his honeymoon of his own, people. So we'll have to see when he gets back from his honeymoon. Ben Jacobs has spoken about Xavi Simons. There's an outside chance, depending on what the final price is, and this is more left field, but Xavi Simons is one that Arsenal really like. I like him, but just because I like you don't mean I have to sing you, gas you up. I like you. I think you're a very good player. I think you're on the right side of age, so you can be here long term. I can see why, obviously technical ability, dribbler, can score goals, versatile, all of that. I just feel he's a bit too hot and cold. I just feel he's a bit too hot and cold across 90 minutes and 10 games. I don't know what I'm getting from you. A bit like how I feel different, but Rafael in that that 10-game sample size, first 2-3 games, you might be a bad boy, best player in the world for those games, scoring the goals, making a difference. The next 2, you might be a bit indifferent. And then the rest, you might be -3 out of 10. Do you get where I'm going with it? So, yeah, the challenge is that it was a complicated deal that saw him go to Leipzig. The total outlay was 80 million euros. The guaranteed total outlay was 80 euros. The guarantee fee was 50 million euros. But if he leaves so soon, a lot of those add-ons would need to be paid. There's a window of opportunity, so I'd keep a small eye on Arsenal, but I don't want to get anyone overexcited needlessly. And the way they're acting over Sesko, one needs to wonder, with what we're seeing with the baggage in that deal, how difficult it'd be to prize him away from Leipzig. But you would imagine him, Openda, Lukeba, Sesko, they're all going to be linked with moves when potentially leave. Leipzig are not in the champs. They need bread. They need to rebuild. And they're probably a selling club. Anyways, Ornstein has said, bearing in mind, once said we want 3 attackers. Arsenal always wanted to strengthen on the left wing, but they've got Martinelli there. If he was to leave, which I can't see happening, you could see them bringing in a top left-sided winger. If he is not to leave, I don't think so. We've reported on the likes of Rodrigo and Anthony Gordon. I think that's if Martinelli leaves. I don't necessarily think that's if he was to stay, people. Oh, okay. Mosquera's decided not to accept Valencia's proposal of a contract renewal. The player wants to join Arsenal and hopes the 2 clubs can reach an agreement. We've definitely gone over that. I need to watch the time because I've got a meeting. My understanding is that Christian Mosquera's desire is very clear. Arsenal. Mosquera wants to play for Arsenal. Now it's on Valencia and Arsenal to reach an agreement on the fee. The attraction of Arsenal is very strong for the players. A different knock. Word to Alex when we knock. Or word to Raul Sanye. Arsenal and Brentford have exchanged all paperwork for Christian Norgard deal. The Danish midfielder will join Mikel Arteta's squad as expected. We've gone over Eze. Long story short, Ornstein has said we want to pay less than his release clause. It's unclear if we would have to sell to facilitate that. He would be a separate pursuit in addition to a left wing and a striker, which probably the biggest thing I like the most. The player is keen on the move. He's excited by the project. Apparently, we've started talks on the conditions of a deal with both Palace and his reps, if Romano is to be believed. He's part of a 3 attacker plan at Arsenal this summer, and the club are in the driving seat to sign him at the moment. Arsenal are, but it's like F1. You could be leading the race. Someone could overtake you. Arsenal are prepared to sign Eze, Rodrigo, and a striker, but are waiting for Rodrigo to say he wants to leave Madrid. At some point, that's going to have to happen. Where we've advanced on Eze signing in recent hours with the player and his reps. Arsenal deliberating whether to activate the release clause. We all know we're not going to do that. We're going to try and make it favourable terms, maybe pay a bit over the odds, but through a longer period of time. Apparently, we value him below his 68 million pounds release clause. We've not bidded. The interest is serious and is advancing. Apparently, he's keen on the move, according to Ben Jacobs. We've made an offer to Chelsea for Madueke. Anyways, people. For what I'm told, hearing from people close to the situation, once Real Madrid get back from the Club World Cup, Rodrigo's going to make it clear he wants to leave. I think Rodrigo's quickly emerging as Arsenal's dream target. I think everything points towards Rodrigo leaving. My belief is that Arsenal will be towards the top of his desired places to go. Arsenal know what kind of fee it will take to sign Rodrigo, around 75 million. They know about his wage, and that hasn't scared them off one bit. Completely off topic, people, yeah? But I've tried to be consistent with going live at, I don't know why, but 1:45 p.m., yeah? Is that consistency doing anything for you? Not the time, but just it's there, in it. Like, just, you know, this is our family trying to make it better. Just let me know that. Arsenal took advantage of talks with Viktor Gyokeres' agent, Hassan Sentikaya, to discuss another one of his clients, Magnus Aduche. A lot of you lot call me underrated, yeah? If you're not subscribing, hitting the like button, leaving a comment under the video, not the live chat, it's not going to change. Make sure you're following on TikTok and Twitter. Just type in Deluded Gooner. Thank you in advance, my family. The player features predominantly on Arsenal's list of potential wingers. However, Monaco demanded 70 million euros. I mean, him as a striker, I wouldn't be against it. I just, based on what I know of the player, very different to Eze. I think we only go for you if the Eze thing don't bang, you know. That's just me. Ornstein has said, oh gosh, maybe this is, you know, why we shouldn't talk about it. Madueke is one of the players Arsenal are looking at. Arsenal have long been searching for backups / competition for Saka. They first looked at Mbeumo. That didn't work out. So they had to look at alternatives. Madueke is among them. A lot appeals to Arsenal about that profile because he can play on the other side too. He'll be known to many of the Arsenal players. He's London-based, and Chelsea are always open to conversations about trading. Clearly, they got money launder. It's clearly one Arsenal are doing some work on. Conversations are more on the players' side. I don't know of anything club to club at this point. But that can change very quickly. That's a fluid conversation at the moment. If he is to go, Chelsea will be looking for a sizable return. I don't know the exact fee. Some people have reported in excess of 45 million. I've previously seen it was higher. Previously, certainly higher than what they've paid for him, I'd imagine. At this point, we're robbing ourselves. Could you imagine 65 million for Kai Havertz, 50 odd for Madueke? The loan fee might not have been too much for Sterling, but it was still too much. And everything in between. Crazy what we're doing. Zubimendi was apparently to be announced as an Arsenal player tomorrow, which would have been today. Obviously, I'd imagine almost every club is not going to announce anything. And RIP Diogo Jota once again, people. If we are to turn towards Ollie Watkins, apparently we're going to have a fight because Man United have looked at him. To be fair, I think he'd be a good signing for them. Is there anything new here? I'd imagine there'll be a bit of a freeze on that sort of stuff. That's not just my Twitch page. Patrick Vieira apparently wants to sign 3 players from his former club. People apparently he wants to raid Arsenal. Hey, once a Gooner, always a Gooner. Come on, my guy. Apparently he's chasing Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, hmm, and Lokonga. I take them today. Take them today. Berta's Italian. Patrick Vieira spent time in Italy and can speak Italian. Take them today. Especially Lokonga. Fabio Vieira, that could be a good move. Unpopular opinion, Fabio Vieira, go Como. I'm actually going to start Football Manager being Como. Says Fabregas is signing good players. Now, that sounds good. I can't see them signing all 3 of those. I'm not sure for Fabio Vieira's wages. I mean, Lokonga to play in Italy and learn under Vieira could be an attraction. And Nelson needs to cut in it, if I'm honest with you. According to Tutor Mercato Web, all 3 are of interest to Patrick Vieira. I don't know if I believe it, if I'm honest with you. I really don't. I really don't. Especially, it could be good for Nelson, especially with, British players moving abroad quite a lot these days. It could be good for Nelson. Also advancing in talks for Eze. He's given his approval to the move to the Emirates. We've gone over that. Separate from Madueke, Lada. Tottenham are at the moment not advancing for Eze. They're focusing on Kudus. Keep an eye on Arsenal and Eze. Okay, we definitely will. But you don't need to tell us, Arsenal fans. United have stepped up their pursuit of Ollie Watkins. Christian Mosquera has made it clear where he sees his future as Arsenal try to sign him. Big you up for that one. I'm so good. It's so good. I got it twice. And long story short, our interest in Eze has been well established. We're clearly looking at him. He can play everywhere. And clearly we'll pay above his release clause because it means we can tailor the payments. Dharma Sheffer said, it's a release clause situation we've got here, 60 million. We think which could rise to 68. It's easy for a club to say, yes, we'll meet that release clause, and then the selling club can't do much about it. Sometimes you can get a situation with a release clause when a club wants to negotiate on that. In this case, if Arsenal were to do that, they would have to approach Crystal Palace. That's not necessarily lower than the release clause. The 60 plus 8 is something that would almost be guaranteed to Palace. If Arsenal offer 70 to 75 million, for argument's sake, people say, why would they do that? It could be exchange for favorable payment terms. You might need to pay the release clause in 3 installments, for example. But if Arsenal say to Palace that they'll pay a bit more in 4 installments, we know everyone is looking at FFP, which is done on a 3-year rolling basis. We're a long way from Arsenal discussing personal terms, which contradicts everything we've seen. But it's clear Eze is a player of interest to them. I mean, Palace, man, you lot are the reason Arsenal haven't won a trophy. You took our best centre back in Rob Holding, our best goalie in Matt Turner, our best striker in Eddie Nketiah. Give us a deal. Please don't sign Lokonga or Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson's better than Saka. But yeah, that appears everything. How many tabs of Eze you got, DG? Definitely Eze FC. I like it, man. Personally, I think after we sign Zubimendi, we'll sign one more player with 50 million, and that will be it. I hope not, because some of the names we're linked with, we need it. Get the likes up. I unlikely fraud. Some of you got crazy names, man. I swear DG has more tabs than I have money in my wallet. And Norton Coffee. Big up Norton Coffee for winning the under-21s championship. He is there. You lot got jokes, innit? Last 24 hours, everyone's got jokes. You lot must have a private chat. We're like, oh, let's bust jokes on DG stream. And it's my mods as well. Condolences to Jota once again, man. I will literally take any other right winger as backup for Saka. And yes, 100% to do sign the Chelsea player. Unpopular opinion for me, I don't think we need that. I don't think we need backup for Saka. Stay with me. If the club get me a striker, get me a left winger, get all the things we need, and obviously Eze, and you want to get another right winger, great. But do we need the right winger? Because Eze can play everywhere. When I'm talking about Eze, I think I keep talking personally about left 8, the 10, and what that could mean for Odegaard. Could play as a false 9. Obviously, right now, he's probably getting off the left ahead of Trossard or Martinelli. He can also perform off that right. You got Wanyeri in the cut as well. If they stay at the club, I'm not saying it's the answer, but they're very unlikely on a regular basis to play on a regular basis, whoever it is on the right-hand side. When fit, Jesus could do a job. Martinelli could do a job. Trossard could do a job. I know he's not fit, but Gabriel Jesus. Do we really need a right wing? Do we really need... Obviously, if you find a young G that's not going to burst the bank, great. But do we really need to find somebody that is an out-and-out right winger as backup for Saka? Of course, it'd be nice to be here and say, 2 of every position, and I want depth, but do we really need that? Do we really need that? I'm not too sure. We need a left wing. We need a striker. I would rather us, excluding Eze, if you offered me another 10 to fight with Saka, fight with Odegaard, or another right winger to fight with Bakayo, I'm picking the 10, for example. Consistent time is great. Thank you, man. At least someone answered the question. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, BG. That's a combined 180 million, give or take. We won't spend without selling. We do have to. There is an element of us having to sell. Arsenal signed Gyokeres. Until I see it on Arsenal.com, I don't know, man. Make sure you put a timestamp on the Madueke news. God forbid. God forbid, man. Yes, man. Then I'm off to watch some anime. Man mentioned McTominay. I'm shook now. Grown man watching anime, watching cartoons, you know. Allow me. The Xavi guy fits Arteta's profile, to be fair, to be honest. If Arteta wasn't worried about PR, his dream signing would be Scott McTominay, a midfielder who can defend and crash the box. Arteta would love McTominay. Our three attackers will probably be Eze, Madueke, Sesko / Gyokeres. Brother. 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 Stay strong, Leipzig. Don't budge on your arcs price. Sesko is a baller with a higher ceiling than that. They should in fact increase their arcs. Now get Gyokeres. I see what you did there. Xavi Simons would be good, but yeah, on top of just having a saucy player, I don't think it addresses everything. Watkins is okay if we get Gyokeres and he's second choice strike option, but if he's the main striker next season, boy, DG sounds jealous of Xavi Simons. Man, shut up, man. Just shut up, man. Does Watkins get you to the next level, which is winning? Not alone, no, but Gyokeres doesn't guarantee that because the stats are undeniable. But what if some of the naysayers about Portuguese league? What if it don't bang? I think it will bang, but what if it don't? I think Sesko will be all right. What if Sesko gets less than the 13 league goals? What if Watkins doesn't show his Premier League proven? My point being, I don't think one striker in isolation is going to take us to the next level. It's a massive stride forward if you go and sign a striker, a left winger, Eze, confirm Zubimendi and all these things. We need to do that. We need to review what we're doing in terms of the physio department, and Arteta's got to evolve stuff. We need plan Bs. We need to be a bit different. We need to be a bit off the cuff. We need to be random. We need to do everything. We need to do everything. Signing's half the job, but it's a bloody good big half of the job, mate. DJ, I ain't here punching windows out and breaking glass, but this is why Arsenal slightly annoy me. We aren't far off and we need them level raisers. Don't want a repeat of last summer in Jan. Fair play. The way Arteta sets up, he needs a false nine up top. That's why I don't think we'll sign a striker. We may end up signing Eze to play there. I don't see that deal happening either. Whatever Arsenal do, whether it's the dream that we all want or not, Arteta, you need to see a trophy, bro. I need to see a trophy. There needs to be a parade of some sorts in Islington. Arsenal need to make a decision and move swiftly. To be fair, there clearly is a lot of moving parts. So I don't think Arsenal are moving clueless and 1 minute they're I don't think they're undecided on Sesko or Gyokeres. I think the only thing that makes the difference is whichever club is playing some level of quote-unquote hardball. But yeah, man. Can you close one tab at least, please? No. Because when I cut up the transfer news bit, I need to remember what we was talking about. No. But at some point they'll be close. Nah, bro. Arsenal was interested FC, bro. Only Zubimendi and Kepa are done deals. But let's just take time, man. Just take time. The nonsense what Sporting Lisbon are doing by denying Gyokeres to sign for us is ridiculous. To be fair, though, are they wrong though? Because they should be playing hardball. Kenan Yildiz is great. It's just he's just going to cost an arm and a leg. Big up Wanyeri. Genuine question: why are you